Hi, I'm Lindy, and I'm a second-year doctoral student in the Department of Language and Literacy at the University of Georgia. What you were looking at is a visual autoethnography that documents how I developed a better understanding of the concept of literacy. Now, as you can see, this portrait of me here is fairly prominent, and I include it to not only show you how vain I am, but to foreground the kind of identity work involved in any discussion of new literacy studies. So I begin with the question, what is literacy? Now, 2 years ago, my answer probably would have been something like the ability to read and write for a variety of purposes and audiences. But 2 years in a doctoral program can make a big difference. So to understand how I learned, I used Vygotsky's notion of the twisting path of concept development, and I used the image of a double helix to represent the twisting path. One path, or strand, represents my academic knowledge, and the other strand represents my everyday experiences. So Vygotsky argued that it is the interplay or dialectical relationship between our academic knowledge and knowledge gained through everyday experiences that allows people to think about problems beyond their range of experience. So academic knowledge is learned through formal systematic instruction, such as classes at school. So I've got some various courses that I've taken at UGA that have really influenced my thinking about literacy. So this includes my popular culture class, a global media and cultural studies course that I took, a Vygotsky course that I took, and of course a new literacy course, which really helped me think about the issues of power and issues of inequity with regards to literacy. So for everyday experiences that have influenced my thinking about literacy, I have being a mother, which has really been interesting for me to see my 6-year-old son and his literacy practices that he engages in. He's a big fan of online and video games, and yet his out-of-school literacy are rarely, if ever, acknowledged or built upon in school. And being a photographer has also really influenced the way I think about literacy and how I think about images and texts, and how photography is a visual language because it uses science to produce and communicate meaning. So as I was creating this map, I had a couple of experiences that seemed to be sort of hybrid of academic and everyday experiences. These two experiences were a hack jam that I attended at NCTE and entering the world of Twitter. So this hack jam that I attended felt really different from other more traditional sessions at NCTE. And so on my way home, flying on the plane, I tried to kind of articulate what about it was so different. So one thing was the space. It took place in a local cafe, the collaborative nature of the task, documenting both process and product. So as we were hacking these websites, people were documenting it via Twitter, and then getting immediate feedback from multiple sources. So once you took a picture of your hack, you posted it on Twitter, and people would either retweet it or just comment on your product. And then just the idea that you were creating a real product for a real audience, and that's something that I had never done as part of a session at NCTE. So I later wrote that it is entirely possible that this hack jam came along right smack dab in my zone of proximal development with regards to my learning about literacy and technology, providing me just enough of a challenge without being too difficult to accomplish. So another really interesting new literacy that I engaged in was Twitter. And I attended a tweet up, which I later, well, not later, but I learned was a face-to-face meetup for people who were tweeting at LRA, and that was organized by my friend Library Beth. And at that tweet up, one of the guests said, we need to make sure that we all attend different sessions so that we aren't in the same room tweeting the same stuff. And so for me right now, that's really what Twitter is all about. It's kind of this ability to engage in distributed cognition. So in kind of theorizing about these new literacies, I came up with the following. I said, G argues that digital tools are transforming society by changing the balance of production and consumption of media, by changing the balance of participation and spectatorship, and by changing the nature of groups, social formations, and power. So perhaps because of the unique affordances of digital technologies, such as those outlined by G, digital technologies can magnify or strengthen the interplay that Vygotsky talked about. Vygotsky theorized his twisting path of conceptual development at a time when school learning only took place within four walls. But digital tools allows us to combine academic concepts with everyday experiences simultaneously, which I feel like lead to more powerful learning experiences. So, all of this academic experience and my experiences with digital tools and my everyday experiences have contributed to a deeper understanding of the concept of literacy. So my concept of literacy now includes attention to the social aspect of meaning making, the affordances of working with digital tools, and the implications that engaging in such discourses can have on power relations within society. At LRA, I attended a session where Elizabeth Moji asked questions very similar to the ones I have been struggling with. She asked, what really is the difference between reading and writing online? How do we know that there is a difference? And how do we document that difference? So, as might be expected, I end this autoethnography with more questions than answers. As G writes, it is just the beginning.